Representative Eskamani, you're recognized to explain your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this amendment to the original bill that comes to us from the Senate includes language that seems targeted towards one private company in Florida, as it would insert the state with inspections over what is a private monorail system that sits in 2 counties. That is very narrow, members. So all my amendment does is strikes the language that it has to be a private transportation system located in 2 counties. So it would instead apply to any private rail system versus one that, for some reason, by coincidence, I assume, sits between 2 separate counties. That's the amendment to the amendment, members.
Questions of the sponsor. Questions of the sponsor. Representative Gottlieb, you're recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Eskamani, I forget the name of the train, but the bullet train is also above ground in Broward and Dade counties. Would that be affected by this amendment?
Representative Eskamani.
Great question. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Great question, Representative Gottlieb. So right now, it has to be a private a transportation system located within 2 continuous counties. And so as long as it's private, it would already have been targeted as a part of the language. My hope is to expand it and not have it be centered on just 2 counties. Seems a little random to do so. So my thought process is, if we care about safety, let's just maintain it for any type of private rail system in the state of Florida.
Further questions? Further questions? Representative Edmonds, you're recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'll come back to you.
Representative Eskamani, I'm sorry, we couldn't hear your amendment over here. Could you just repeat what it does?
Representative Gottlieb, you have a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Eskamani, has there been a fiscal study as it relates to the amendment?
Representative Eskamani.
Great question, Mr. Speaker. To also try to help re-explain it quickly, in case they actually didn't hear it. So the original amendment that I'm amending will require state inspections of private transit systems that are continuous in 2 counties. That's what the original amendment does. My amendment strikes that to say you would have to inspect any private train, regardless if they're in 2 counties or not, to widen the reach. With that said, I don't think there was a fiscal on the original version. As an amendment, I haven't had anything scored, but my assumption, based on what was said in the Senate, is that the cost would be absorbed by the state agency. So I don't suspect there would be a dramatic cost increase, primarily because I don't think there are that many private systems anyways. And since most are going to be publicly managed, like Sunrail in Orange County.
Further questions? Representative Joseph.
I'm just trying to make sure I understand the potential impact, because we have quite a few railways that go through Miami-Dade County, and some connect, but some don't connect to other counties. So what kind of rail companies would this impact?
Representative Eskamani.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I mean, to be candid, the original intention of this amendment was to specifically target Walt Disney World's monorail system as an effort to be punitive towards Disney for the Disney versus DeSantis drama. That type of punitive behavior by government I find to be inappropriate. So I am widening it so that it's not a punitive process, that if you're going to pursue safety inspections, if we really care about safety, members, then let's just do it for every train system that's private versus just one company that we're in the middle of a tiff with.
Further questions of the sponsor? Seeing no questions of the sponsor, you're recognized to close on your amendment. What, you want to debate? Okay, we can debate. Anybody want to debate? I think you got your debate during the questions, Representative Joseph. You're recognized for debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Representative Eskamani. I did not know what you just talked about before. That's news to me, because I thought, anyway, to the extent that we are pursuing safety standards, and if that's the intent of the underlying bill and amendment, I think we should do that across the board, whether they cross county lines or not. Like, if we're trying to keep people safe, then we should keep people safe. And that's really my debate. it's strange that I need to make such a debate, but yeah.
Further debate. Representative Harris, in debate, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a really good amendment. I don't like to think that we would be targeting any one business. I think that would be really bad. And so therefore, I really appreciate this amendment so that as a body, a legislative body, we're not discriminating against one particular company. Thank you.
Representative Eskamani, you're welcome to close on your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And one element that I forgot to mention, members, in the amendment that we just got back from the Senate that I'm attempting to amend is that it's not even just a private rail system in 2 counties, a private rail system that is privately owned, privately funded, and exists within an independent special district. And the only example... Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And the only example I can think of in that circumstance is Walt Disney World's Monorail system. And I will say that investments are, I've read online that major investments are coming to that system. There might be expansion plans. And the notion of government interference on a private business is something I assume most of my colleagues frown upon. But that's exactly what this amendment does. And my point is if you're going to go after and put the hand of government on a train system, why are you targeting it towards one? Why not open up the process and let's see if any other fall in this category? My assumption is these variables of being privately funded and existing in a special district is very unique to this one system. But at the very least, let's open it up so it doesn't have to apply to just a system that exists in 2 counties. If we're going to start regulating privately owned and privately funded rail systems, let's regulate all of them versus being punitive and targeted. And as I said earlier, members, just let it go. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Eskamani, having closed on her amendment, all those in favor supporting her amendment say yay. Yay. All those opposed say no. No. Members show the amendment fails.